What's up, guys? It's your boy Brock back with another podcast. We've got Zach here.
Okay.
Um, we've how long has it been? 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 10 years?
I don't know. It
It's
it
been
seems like years.
it felt like 10 years. Um, First thing that we're gonna talk
Because I can
about.
never get this guy on the.
Yeah, well, I'm a busy man. I'm a very busy man.
Uh,
I'm a
that's what he says.
very busy.
That's what he
Yes.
says. But
Um.
I don't know.
So let's just hop right into it. You want to talk about uh the scheduling? About the scheduling that came out?
Sure. What you got? What you
Um
thinking about?
so about the international series, there's what I believe 5 games, 3 in London and 2 in Frankfurt. And is that Germany, I believe? Frankfurt, Germany.
Yeah.
Uh so it's the Falcons and the Jags on October 1st in London. Jags and Bills October 8th in London. Then Ravens Titans on October 15th in London. And then Dolphins Chiefs November 5th in Frankfurt. And Colts and Patriots in Frankfurt on November 12th. Uh, as a Colts fan, how do you think the Colts are going to fare about the long travel and the amount of time it'll take for them with the time zone difference and the fact that they're playing in a different country?
I mean, can't really say much now, but I.
Well, you think travel? Here's my question: do you think travel is going to be something that they're going to worry about? Like, I mean, the time zone different to Germany is like what, 10 hours or something?
Around there, but I'd say you can't really worry about the game at this point in time now until you actually play up until that point, you know?
Yeah.
Because I could say, oh, they'll feel great, but then, you know, teams might be like either well rested or not, depending on if they played like a game or two the day before. It's really hard to say now what could happen, you know.
Yeah. Oh, we there? Uh-oh. Did we just lose him? What happened? Did we just lose him? Hello? FaceTime failed. Uh-oh. Pause on that. What just happened? Okay, we're back.
I don't know.
I don't know what happened. But, okay. So, basically what you were saying.
Is that it's really hard to tell how people will do.
Yeah, I think the Jags have a good thing. Like, they get to stay in London for 2 weeks. So, that, I think their travel back is going to be tough. You know, you stay in London for 2 weeks, you come home. That's tough on like your family and stuff. You're gone overseas. You're basically like a military guy at that point. But 2 weeks isn't that bad. But I think it's gonna be interesting. Also, the New Year's Eve game is gonna be a good one. Week 17, Bengals and Chiefs.
Yeah.
We got Giants and Eagles on Christmas Day. And we've also got a Black Friday game that's November 24th, Dolphins and Jets. Um, I believe the Jets have a lot of primetime television games. I saw like a lot. I believe they have five, like nationally televised, like CBS and Fox.
Yeah.
They're on primetime a lot, and I think it's just because of Aaron Rodgers. Um,
Well, of course.
how he's gonna do?
Not gonna put Zach Wilson in prime time.
Yeah. But yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, I mean, who they waited for. I mean, to be fair, the schedule didn't come out until Lamar and Rodgers were completely, you know,
Yeah.
sure on what they were going to do. So
Mhm.
I'd say if either way, Rodgers stayed in Green Bay or moved on to the Jets, either team would have more primetime spots.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
you
not
think?
it's not just because of Rodgers and Lazard and Lamar. It's who do you want to see more? And you would want to see a possible thriving Jets offense with Aaron Rodgers at the helm.
Mhm. So let's change. Well, we're still on football, but this isn't about any player, or coach or GM. We're gonna talk about a fan, and this isn't just any fan. And I know that you're smiling. I know what we all know what we're gonna talk about. Chiefs superfan, better known as Chiefsaholic, remains on the run and has been added to the Greater Kansas City Crime Stoppers Most Wanted Fugitives list. If you guys don't know, he uh, had charges in back in March of last year on two bank robberies in Oklahoma. He failed up to show to court, and he went on the run. He removed his ankle monitor, and now there's $1 million bond on him. There's $1 million bond on him. This guy, I don't know what you say. This guy's a legend. This guy is an absolute legend. He robbed a bank with a gun in his wolf costume. In his wolf costume.
Okay, but
Legendary.
part of me says if you really wanted to get away with it, right? And you were going to the Chiefs game and wherever it was at the time, and he took a stop in Oklahoma City to purchase a ticket or to rob a bank to eventually purchase a ticket.
Two. No, it was two banks.
Okay, two banks in Oklahoma City. Wouldn't you take the costume off? That way, you're not that recognizable.
That's what I think the funniest thing about the story is that he did it in that costume.
No. Whatever you're about to say is not funny. That's the funny part. He did not take off the costume.
I think it's because he
It's
wore
like
the costume.
He wanted to get caught.
Yeah. Dude, if this guy's still on the loose, if this guy shows up in Kansas City week 1, dude, I don't know what I'd say. If he came to the arena week 1, What are all the Kansas City fans gonna do? They're gonna back Chiefsaholic up, don't you think?
You would think. Not saying it will or will not happen, but
And
you would think.
I understand why he's robbing banks. He doesn't go to just the home games. He goes to all the away games too. That's a
Yeah,
lot of money on tickets.
yeah. It's a
And
lot of banks robbed.
just wearing a wolf costume doesn't pay out as much money to get Chiefs tickets. So he said, "Hey, you know what? I'm in Oklahoma. Might as well rob a bank." It's just insane how he's still on the run. I don't understand that. That's what I think is crazy. Nobody's caught this guy.
Probably not wearing the costume anymore.
You'd think. Speaking about,
Not in Kansas City, I don't know.
I don't think he's. Rumor has it he's not in Kansas City. He's now gone international.
I can see that as well.
My sources say that he's in Mexico right now, but he's enjoying himself with all the money for the off season, getting ready to come back and cheer on the Chiefs again. Um, Talk about a guy that hasn't gotten caught and is on the run. Let's talk about a guy that got caught and is pleading guilty. Henry Ruggs III pleaded guilty to one count of DUI that resulted in a death. If you didn't know about this, killed a lady and I believe a dog too, or something like that, going like 115 miles an hour. Really sad, really scary. He's facing 3 to 10 years in jail. Um, so his career's over. Raiders again with another missed draft pick. I mean, think about. I think for the past 5 years they haven't had a good draft pick, right? Besides one. What do you think? I mean, they drafted Alex Leatherwood. He's gone. Henry Ruggs. He's in jail.
I mean, Jacobs has been good.
That's the
Yeah.
one that I was talking about. The only one that's been. I mean, like, besides
Besides Jacobs and Carr, right?
yeah, that's. Remember,
Crosby's good on defense. Or are you talking about offensive?
talk about main guys like their first round draft picks in like the last 4 years.
Wasn't Crosby good?
Yeah, he's been good, but Leatherwood got cut. I mean, let me.
Wasn't he like a first round?
Yeah,
Max Crosby, a first round. Yeah. So he's in this conversation.
let's see. Draft class. I mean, okay. So last year they didn't have a first round. So 2021, Alex Leatherwood. Um, People are asking who is that exactly. That's why it's a unfortunate draft pick for them. 2020 they had two first rounders, Henry Ruggs III and Damon Arnett. 2019 they had three first round picks, Clellan Farrell, Josh Jacobs, and Jonathan Abram. You might only know one of them. In Josh Jacobs. 2018, Colton Miller. I mean, the list goes on and on. They've struck out a lot of times, and you gotta wonder why. Like, why?
Max Crosby wasn't a first round then?
When was he drafted? Oh no, he was a fourth rounder.
Okay. So, I mean,
They had three first round picks in 2019.
besides Jacobs, you're not really doing that well?
I'd say.
I mean, Ruggs before the DUI was good, so I'd count him as a good draft pick. Just a bad decision.
I think the last first round draft pick that I think was actually good, besides Jacobs, of course, uh, was back in 2015. Amari Cooper. That's the last one I see. Cause like,
I mean, okay, so Cooper, Jacobs, and Ruggs are probably your best three first round draft picks
mhm.
that you've had. I'm including Ruggs in there because it was just a bad decision on his part.
He played great. I mean, but
Oh
it
yeah,
just, I'm just saying it didn't work out for the team. You know, like
yeah. It's sad that it didn't work out for the team, but at the same time, it didn't work out for the team because of his bad decision.
mm-hmm.
So it's not the team's fault. They drafted a good player, and it played out the way it did.
Yeah.
So he's still in that good draft pick conversation with for the Raiders. Just not anymore.
Yeah. And then there's one other arrest. I don't even know if we should bring it up, but this just popped up on my timeline a few weeks ago. Jackson Mahomes arrested on suspicion of aggravated assault. Um, I believe he got out on bond, but still. Jackson Mahomes keeping up with his TikToks that are severely questionable, and I feel bad for his mental health because if that's him as a human, I feel bad for Patrick on Christmas. Um, moving on. Uh, Rodgers to the Jets. I mean, we didn't really get to talk about this. What are your thoughts on Rodgers to the Jets? I know that he brought a lot of guys back. He brought Randall Cobb back, and I believe two other former Packers to the Jets. What do you think?
I think just Lazard.
Lazard and Cobb. He wanted his weapons there. What do you think about the Jets? For me personally, I feel that the Jets fans are gonna be happy. You got to be happy if you're a Jets fan. I mean,
Yeah, I'd say so.
but
I mean,
go ahead.
a little deja vu. Um,
Yeah,
for Brock, it's not. Um, for me, it is.
yeah.
um,
I mean, yeah.
but but um, but anyway, it's good deja vu because I think this would be good for the Jets organization and for Rodgers as well. So we'll see how he can take the media there.
That was my next follow-up question because New York media, if you don't know, is probably the most ruthless and insane people on planet Earth. Um, they take everything serious. They try to get stuff out of you that are totally fake and lies. Um, and you know about Rogers, he's made statements before. Uh, I don't know when, but I feel like Rogers will snap during an interview or press conference because New York media is rough. Um, but yeah, that's a concern. Uh, but Bears fans and Jets fans alike are happy for this day. It's finally here. For the first time in 20 years, we don't have a Hall of Famer in our division a that's a Packer. Um, thank goodness. Um, Lamar Jackson got paid finally. I mean, finally it happened. How do you think him getting 260 million? What do you think this is gonna have on um, the young quarterbacks? that are gonna get paid, like Joe Burrow. What do you think? Well, let's like hearing from what okay, Lamar just got 260 million. What do you think? Like, uh, uh, what's his face? Joe Burrow. What's he gonna be like? Oh, should I get more? Do I earn more than that? Is that his base?
I'd say you get close. You're not gonna get.
Is that his base? Does he get 260?
Probably 250. I'm not
You
saying
think
that
you think
Joe's
Joe
not
Burrow's
as
gonna get
equally
less?
good as
You think Joe
Lamar.
Burrow's gonna get less than Lamar Jackson?
Just a little less. I mean,
That's interesting.
I mean, like, it wouldn't be. I don't think it's going to be significantly less,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be just a little less than 260. You're not gonna overpay Joe, and then because what
They've
I've
gotta sign some offensive linemen.
what I've seen with the Bengals and what they want to do is they want to get T Higgins.
Yeah.
They want to get T Higgins or new deal done, and Joe Burrows.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they want to focus on Joe first before they get T Higgins done. So they're probably going to make it to seem that we can still pay Joe a lot more and still have enough cap room to do T Higgins and other free agents in the near future. So that's what I see the Bengals doing. Is like it's not going to be significantly higher. It's not going to be significantly less than what Lamar is getting paid right now.
Yeah. I I mean I'd say if they had an offensive line, I think Joe Burrow would be performing a lot better and I think he'd get 300 million plus. But with the offensive line that he hasn't been able to really show. I mean, he just has to scramble and get hurt all the time. I mean, you'd think if he had an okay, decent offensive line, he'd be showing off his talent a lot more, um, which would result in potentially a little bit more money. But hopefully, they sign some offensive linemen. That's what I hope for the Bengals to do, so Joe Burrow doesn't end his career soon, because it almost happened with his ACL injury. That's what I hope they will do. Will they do it? I don't know. Um, Here's something we can bet on. If you're over 21, I am not, so I'm not going to bet on it. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey face off against Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson in the match. This is going to be taking place on June 29th. Who do you got? NBA or NFL?
I mean, they're all good golfers. So
Steph's a great golfer. Steph is the best golfer out of those four names. I've seen him play. Dude's a golfer.
So we'll see. I'm not. I can't say.
Kelsey swinging a golf club, though, is a scary combination. Dude can hit that. Like, I bet he could hit that ball so hard. Like, with the way that he performs in strength,
Yeah.
the strength on that guy, dude could hit a ball 400 yards. So that's going to be fun to see. And I always love them getting mic'd up. That's also another thing that I love about the match is that they get mic'd up and try to say some stupid stuff. Um, but yeah, so that's June 29th. So if you want to watch that, go ahead. That's in 22 days. Peacock will exclusively carry an NFL playoff game. Do you have Peacock? If not, why not? Do you think it's good for the NFL to have Peacock as an NFL playoff game? Uh, The floor is yours, Zach.
Just means I need to either buy a subscription for 2 days or not at all and just not watch games because I don't have Peacock. It's just another subscription service that.
Isn't Amazon doing a playoff game too?
Huh?
Is Amazon doing a playoff game?
Yeah, but I have Amazon. I mean, like they're. I mean, I don't think they're doing playoff games. They're doing Thursday night games.
Yeah.
Last season, which I wasn't worried about because I have Amazon Prime and I can watch them.
Well, I've got both, so I can watch everything. Besides NFL Network. Don't have that. I should probably buy that before football season starts. Um, this is something that you didn't know. I was talking to Zach right before the podcast, and he said, "Wait, what?" And then I started the podcast right away with the intro, so he was fairly confused. But we're gonna get to it now. Two Browns players were robbed at gunpoint. Two Cleveland Browns players were robbed at gunpoint by six masked men. Let me pull up.
I mean, I saw that tweet, but I didn't pay too much attention to it.
Cornerback, Greg Newsom II and Perrion Winfrey were robbed at gunpoint by six masked men in a parking lot around 2:30 a.m. After they left the club. Everybody was safe. But yeah, I mean, that's scary.
Yeah.
Miles Garrett thinks it's Mason Rudolph and five buddies in ski masks. That's interesting. That just popped. That was one of the top comments. That's a good one. That's comment of the day. That's really good. Whoever did that, bravo.
That was good. That was
Bravo.
funny. I like that.
Bills break ground on their new $1.54 billion stadium. I mean, how much more money does a stadium need? I mean, there's going to be a $10 billion stadium in 50 years, I believe. I mean, it just keeps getting higher and higher. They're doing it successfully. Unfortunately for the Bears, it is not going well. If you haven't heard on the update, they're now looking after they started the Bears after they started breaking ground. I think it was phase 2. All of a sudden they backed out. Now they're looking to relocate, which I think is very, very interesting because of the tax hike. In Chicago, it is insane. The property tax in Chicago has risen once again. So the Bears were like, we can't do it. We can't do it. We're going to move again. They don't know where. What do you think? I mean, the Bears just, they're not going to be able to get a new stadium, it looks like. They're going to have to relocate far somewhere other than Chicago or Arlington Heights or anywhere. Because, I mean, if
they're not going to move anytime soon.
What do you mean? They just bought $1 billion worth of property and left it there rotting in the dust. They bought Arlington Heights.
They ain't moving.
It's true.
They ain't going nowhere.
The Arlington Bears aren't going anywhere.
The Chicago Bears aren't going anywhere.
I say Soldier Field should just be a concert venue. And they should move.
To where?
That's what they're trying to figure out too. Which I feel like we're not going to move until 20 years when the Chicago's in a better place or it's all going down the drain because of the taxes and stuff there, which is pretty unfortunate for Chicago because I don't think they will be able to move anywhere outside of the Chicago suburbs. I did hear a thing that they were going to
I mean,
move to Naperville.
you can move out of downtown
I did hear Naperville was an option.
and still call yourself the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. So do you think if they changed it to Naperville, went and moved to Naperville, would that be a good investment?
Heck, you can move to Rockford and call yourself the Chicago Bears for all that's worth in Illinois.
They would not want to move to Rockford. Who the heck wants to go to Rockford to watch the Chicago Bears play? It'd have to be Naperville. You'd have to.
I mean, okay, that was a joke, Brock.
Because there's no way. That's like the Colts. I don't. Well, actually, I was gonna make a statement, but I don't know where else Indianapolis is near. So, never mind.
Zionsville, Avon.
Don't know what he's saying. I don't know if it's true or not. So you guys gotta look it up yourselves.
What?
Well, I was telling the people that you may be spreading false rumors, and Avon or whatever might not even be a thing.
That's 25 minutes outside of downtown Indianapolis.
Okay, fact check it. I'm just kidding. I believe him. The Colts signed somebody in free agency, biggest free agent signing in the NFL history. They signed veteran free agent Brashad Perriman. How do you feel? Are the Colts going to the Super Bowl? What do you think?
He'll get cut.
That's a big signing for him. That's a big signing for you guys.
I mean, Perriman's okay. I saw the tweet and I was like, okay, like another receiver didn't get cut.
Well, they just cut another one for him. They cut Tyler Adams.
Yeah, but then you got to nail down to 53. And I don't see Perriman making the 53-man roster.
Interesting. I think
he got
would.
A good ride room with Pierce, Pascal.
He was a good Bears player, and you guys should keep him.
So you got 4 solid wide receivers right there. You don't need Perriman. You don't need they cut to sign Perriman. They're good on wide receivers. I don't understand, but.
Okay, should we move to a different sport besides the football that we all love and enjoy?
I guess so.
Alright, we talked a lot about football and stuff. Let's talk about something that may or may not be a sport to some. Golf had a mega announcement. An announcement so big, it's the biggest in golf history. If you guys haven't been paying attention to golf, and I know a lot of you have not, the PGA Tour and Live Golf, it's a Saudi Arabian-backed establishment, have been going after each other. Live Golf was established, I believe, last year and created their own league and took some of the PGA Tour players because they were offering them about $600 million to join the Live Golf. And the PGA Tour said, hey, don't take the money. Don't take the money. And some people said, okay, we believe you. We're not going to take the money. We're staying with PGA Tour. Some people said, hey, I'm getting offered $600 million. I'm going. See ya, PGA Tour. Well, I believe it was today or yesterday. I believe it was today. No, yesterday. Forget. I think it was yesterday. The PGA Tour, Live Golf, and DP World Tour have merged to, quote, to unify the game of golf. And if I'm a PGA Tour golfer that was being asked, hey, don't take the money, don't go, now I'm staring right into the commissioner's face and say, hey, what happened to when you say don't take the money, huh? What happened to that? What did the PGA Tour just do? They took the money. So if I was in the PGA Tour, I am livid. I want to punch somebody in the face because he just missed out on $500 million, and now the PGA Tour gets it to themselves. What do you think about this? This is really crazy.
I haven't really been paying attention to the Saudi golf and their.
Oh, I have not. I boycotted the live golf thing because they're ruining the game of golf.
I mean, I haven't paid it. I've been watching the PGA Tour stuff. I haven't been watching anything with live or
Well,
anything else.
okay,
But
you haven't, but I say it's bogus and that the PGA Tour is blasphemous. I don't know what the word I'm saying, but you know, if you join the live golf, good for you because you earned a lot of money. And if you stayed on the PGA Tour, man, you want to punch somebody in the throat because now you had an opportunity to make quintuple the amount that you do in the PGA Tour. And now that they're combined, I mean, now you don't have the choice of joining the live golf. Um, Details are still being out there like, okay, how's this going to work? Is PJ Tour and Live Golf going to compete in the same tournament? Or are they going to be able to switch over from the PJ Tour and Live Golf? How is that going to work? We still don't know, but it's a massive development. A massive development. Um,
I'd say let's see how it plays out because, like the commissioner said, for golf, he went off with the information that he had at the time, and now he probably, for a year ago, from a year ago to today, he probably took all year to like negotiating with Live Golf and the Saudis and tried to make a deal with them, and they made a deal with him that he couldn't refuse. And 7 weeks ago, he agreed to that deal, and yet didn't bring players involved, get players involved, and now they're rightfully mad.
yeah, and for the
That's
Saudis,
how I see it.
yeah,
You know, it's not like I have an opinion on anything because I haven't.
I mean, the Saudis could
Any
buy
live
whatever
golf.
the heck they want. I mean, all they had to do, Tiger got offered $1 billion, $1 billion to play, and he declined. Lionel Messi, who just joined with Miami, I think, he was offered by a Saudi football club $1 billion for 2 years. 2 years, $1 billion, and he declined. I mean, what the Saudis are doing is basically right. Look, here's the pen. Hey, what do you want? Okay, here's a couple more zeros. Oh, they want more? Here's a couple more zeros. I mean, they have infinite amount of money. It doesn't matter what it is. They will offer you the world to come and join. And they could buy the NBA for crying out loud. I mean, that's how much money they have. Um, so, do you think joining this, I feel like this was also good for the game, but how is it going to affect the game? That's my question. Um, Now that we don't have our arguments over PJ Tour and Live, I want to know how this will go continuing forward. I want to know how the competitions are going to be. I want to know all that. So it's going to be really interesting. Um,
And we won't know until we actually they have a plan figured out.
yeah. So it might take a little bit. Uh, MLB baseball. This was just today. New York postponed their game because, if you guys don't know about the Canadian wildfires, they are spreading to New York. New York. as of today, they have the worst air quality in the world. Um, I pulled up a site that said of the AQI, the Air Quality Index, New York City is at a 256 AQI. And just for reference, a good AQI is 0 to 50. And they are at a 256 AQI. People are saying to stay indoors, wear masks if you go outside. I mean, it is crazy. If you go and look up the photos in New York City, like you can't see anything. Um, and it's very, very crazy. It hasn't happened in our lifetime this bad. Um, but yeah, hopefully everything will get better tomorrow. Today was the worst of the worst, and I believe tomorrow it'll get back to the unhealthy level. But as of right now, it's very. Some of them are saying it's hazardous, which means you cannot go outside. Uh, if you do, you can't stay outside for more than 20 minutes. Otherwise, I saw a thing that said if you go outside, it's like smoking six packs of cigarettes a day. That's what it's doing. That's how bad the air quality is. If you breathe that in, you're breathing 6 packs of cigs a day. Um, so hopefully everybody's all right there. Um, Scary thing. What do you have to say about that? I mean, it's crazy how far like the Canada, it's going down to Indianapolis. I saw on the news that the air quality theirs was low. I saw Chicago was low. Um, just the other day, there was an air quality warning for us. Um, what do you have to think? Like, it's so crazy that Canada is all the way up there and it's reaching down to us. Like, that's pretty crazy to think.
I mean, our weather person can explain that better than I can. It, I don't know. Honestly, I mean, I'm not a meteorologist, so I can't really speak on the weather. But
We should invite other people on here for other expertise. Should we try to do that? Get a 4-person FaceTime call. One person's a meteorologist that checks in on us 1 to 2 times a podcast. Then another one is a soccer fan, so they can tell us what the heck going on in soccer, and we'll carry the rest, huh? We should we should look into that. If you're a meteorologist and want to be on Brockstar Sports, hit me up. Um, we are we are taking positions. I'm just kidding. We are we are looking into all positions. But no, on all seriousness, hope everything's okay in New York. If you are in New York and watching, I don't know how in the world you found us on YouTube. If you're in New York and it just randomly recommended us, hello, hope you're safe. And if you're not in New York and you don't know what's going on, I don't know either, so let's just move on. Um, the NBA Finals has just happened. I think the game just ended. I don't know the score update on that, but I do know that the Nuggets won, and they are up 2-1 in the series, and it's a best of 7. And if you take a best of 7, you need to win 4 games. So if my math does it correct, the Nuggets are 2 wins away from an NBA Finals. Um, Zach, are you a big NBA guy? Have you heard of the guy Nikola Jokic, who seems like basketball is like a kid's game to him? Um, I mean, the dude. I think last time I checked, tonight, he scored 30 points, 20 rebounds, and 11 assists, which is really good. I don't know what he ended up with, but the dude is a beast on the court. Do you think the Nuggets will get it done over the Heat, and why?
I think that the Heat will do it because I mean,
Do you think the Heat? They're the 8 seed. First 8 seed to ever go to the finals.
Here, my guy.
Jimmy Butler. You think Jimmy Butler is gonna do it?
I have more faith in the Miami Heat than I have the Denver Nuggets.
Wow, that's a bold statement. Clip that, YouTube, please. What'd you say? Say it again.
I have more faith in Miami Heat than I do the Denver Nuggets.
Clip it, and then we'll play next week on the podcast and see how his results came in. All right. You'll either look like an idiot or you're the smartest person on earth. Congrats. But in all seriousness, I think the Heat just look outmatched to me. It just seems like that. But
at least for the first game and apparently this game that they lost, they got outmatched, which happens. It's the NBA is like golf. You have a bad day and you have good days. You can't really depend a future of an NBA team on 2 losses or 1 loss, or 1 win, because you could win 3 straight and then lose 3 straight. You see what I mean?
yeah.
So that's, and the Heat, although they are an 8th seed, I do feel, and I don't know what their record was the entire season, nor do I know the Nuggets. But in my opinion, the Heat are better equipped to win right than the Nuggets.
So I do have the final score of tonight's game. They won 109-94. The Nuggets' Nikola Jokic had, get ready for this, 32 points, 21 rebounds, and 10 assists, which is a triple-double for NBA non-fans. Really, really good. Nobody can stop that man. Like, nobody can. Nobody has done that the entire playoffs, which I think is a big factor in this game, because if Nikola Jokic doesn't score, the Nuggets can't win. But it doesn't matter what you do. You can double team Jokic. He's still going to find a way to score, which is so impressive. But yeah, do you think the Heat are going to win? I mean, we'll see. But, I mean, Nuggets are 2 wins away from winning the championship. And also, Joel Embiid won the 2023 NBA MVP award. Congrats to Joel Embiid. It should have been Jokic, but oh well. And also, this is a mind-boggling stat. This is the first time in LeBron's career that he did not receive a single vote for MVP. How long has he been playing? Has it been 19 years or 20?
Who?
LeBron. LeBum.
I'd say 20. I'm not entirely sure.
That's crazy. Even in his rookie year, he got a MVP vote. But, yeah, so I don't know. What else do we have? Let's see. Oh, Pat McAfee. The Pat McAfee show is coming to ESPN this fall. Are you going to be watching on ESPN, or are you going to continue on YouTube?
On both, I guess.
I think it's good for him that he's getting more exposure. But I do think he's not going to be cursing a lot, because now he's on TV. Which I thoroughly enjoy him with his antics. It's quite funny. If you go look him up, Pat McAfee Show, he's one of the reasons why I tried to create a podcast, and it's not as successful as Pat McAfee, because we're not as entertaining as Pat McAfee. If we were, we could be on FanDuel and we could be on ESPN, but we're on YouTube for now. Zach, if Zach was on camera for the podcast, I bet he would do some crazy stuff. I mean, I bet he could. Oh, look, he's on a chair right now. He's on all fours, barking like a dog right now. You guys can't see it, but he's on all fours, barking like a dog right now.
I am not. Don't listen to him.
I got him. Um, Anything else that you gotta say? Uh, Anything that we missed? Um, Anything that you want to say? When do we want to do another podcast? Anything? What? The floor is yours.
I don't have anything else. I can't think of anything else that we need to discuss.
Well, perfect. Well, that makes my job easy. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. This is the first podcast in about 6 moons, 6 solar eclipses, 6 decades. Thank you all for watching. Holy cow! We've been recording for an hour and 10 minutes. Very productive podcast we had today. Thank you all for watching. We will see you all later. Peace.